All right, let's talk about problems with your Prevena Vac. What do the error codes mean and how do you fix it? So one of the most common calls we get at night is problems with the Prevena Vac. The Prevena Vac is a special dressing we put on people at the end of surgery, and it helps you heal better by applying negative pressure. That negative pressure brings extra blood flow to the area. So this is the most common machine, and it has different errors on it, and let's talk about what you do. So this is how you turn it on and off right here. The little dots around it are the days that it works. So this machine like self-destructs after 7 days and it stops working. So you will see the countdown. You'll see one less dot every day. It doesn't mean that it's not charged. That's just how long the unit lasts. Right here is the alarm. So if this, you will hear it. It is very loud. And you will also see this light up when you have an alarm. Now, if you have an alarm and it's the middle of the night, do not panic, just turn the machine off right here. No big deal, we can fix it in the morning. Nothing bad will happen if the machine is off overnight. So I always tell my patients just to turn it off just like you would your cell phone, and we can work with it in the morning. Now, if you want to try to troubleshoot a little bit yourself, there's never a problem doing that. Now, you can call the company. Every unit comes with a manual, with a number, and a 1-800 number. That's there 24 hours a day, and you can call for help. So at the top here, there's two errors, the one with the X and the one you can see with a little arrow coming out. This is the blockage error, and this is your leak error. So a blockage error means that the tube is kinked. So look at your tube all the way to it enters the machine and make sure it's on the machine properly and nothing is kinked. Make sure it's not kinked in your garment, that it's not kinked where you're laying on it, and sometimes it just gets wound in itself and the tubing's kinked. So that's usually what this little X error means. This error right here is a little more complicated. So this is your leak error. That means that air is getting into the machine when it shouldn't. So the first thing you want to do if you have a leak error is make sure everything's put together properly. All the connections are together. Sometimes it'll just fall apart and you don't realize it. You want to make sure you follow the tubing from where it enters the machine. There's a little plastic thing that's on here. You want to push on it and make sure it's seated properly. All the tubing is attached correctly and it's entering the unit on your body, the purple sponge, and that there's nothing that has fallen apart or is not together. Now, if you've done that and you still have this leak alarm, you have to check the unit and make sure it's taped down properly, because the concern is that there's a hole in the tape or the tape is peeling up. So look at the sponge, push on it all around, see if you can identify any potential holes that might have snagged on your clothing or snagged on your garment. Make sure the tape is seated all the way around the sponge, flat to your skin, and there's nowhere where the air can sneak in. If you locate a hole, patch it with some tape or a Tegaderm. They should send you home with some patching tapes. If you find an area of leaking around the periphery, you can patch that as well with tape. And the last little thing is right here, it's just the charge. So you want to make sure that your unit stays charged. It can actually be not plugged in for a couple hours, but just make sure you check it periodically and that it's getting enough charge, because you don't want it to alarm because it's dying. Now, there is a smaller unit for the Prevena. This one is battery powered, doesn't have to be plugged in, but it doesn't guide you if there's a problem. It just starts yelling at you. So if the alarm goes off on this one, this little guy lights up and you just have to do all the troubleshooting. So you want to make sure it's not a blockage and also check for leaks until you figure out what the problem is. And this is the battery indicator saying it's on its way out. So this middle one, if it flashes, that means the whole unit's going to turn off even if the battery's okay, because it, like I said, self-destructs after a couple days. I think this one's also 7 or 8 days. So that's just the skinny on the Prevena Vac and all the noises it makes. The longer you use this device, you figure out how to put them on in a way that minimizes the chance of trouble. And as a patient, when you have it, it's just really important that you're careful with it, because if you pull on the cord and you disrupt things, you increase the chance that you're going to develop a leak. And once you have a leak, it can be really challenging to find it and patch it. So the best course of action is to not have a problem in the first place.